Hello dear Music Store TV viewers, very welcome here at the Superbooth in Berlin 2018 at the stand of IK Multimedia. I'm very happy to be here. Eric, you are the inventor of a new synthesizer and it's called the Uno.
Yes, we've designed an analog synthesizer. So the Uno is a 2-oscillator, true analog synth. In fact, the entire audio path is analog. So we start off with 2 variable shape oscillators, continuously variable shape. So instead of just selecting triangle wave, sawtooth wave, square wave, we can continuously morph between the triangle wave and the sawtooth wave, between the sawtooth wave and the square wave. And then after that, we can do pulse width modulation of the square wave. The 2 oscillators are independent, so we could have pulse width modulation going on the first oscillator, and then the second oscillator could be just set to a fixed triangle wave. Or we could be modulating between the triangle wave and the sawtooth wave on the second oscillator and doing pulse width modulation on the first oscillator. Okay, we can tune the oscillators plus and minus an octave, and of course detune them. We've come up with a pretty cool interface idea here. So at the center of the range of the knob, we're just detuning. So sharp, flat, but once we get past 100 cents, it goes into semitones. So if you want to do a musical fifth, that's 7 semitones, do it like that. Or an octave, like that. So that one up an octave, that one down an octave. Yeah. Okay, the filter. Filter is pretty important. This is, critical for an analog synthesizer. We've designed a 2-pole resonant multi-mode filter. In such a way that we feel it's not style specific. So, of course, we've got our low pass, high pass, and band pass modes with adjustable resonance. So if you set it to low pass mode with a reasonably conservative resonance amount, and you keep the overdrive either at 0 or at low saturation, it's really easy to get classic, warm, kind of 70s analog synth sounds out of the thing. But our drive has a very specific curve to it, so as you increase the drive, as you increase the resonance, and of course as you go into the different modes like high pass and band pass, it can become very aggressive, extremely modern sounding, very much suited for EDM and something you'd expect to hear out of a Eurorack system. So with any great synth, we feel it's how you use it that should determine, the sound you get out of it. We don't want to preset that for you. Okay, so there are 2 envelopes. There's a filter envelope and an amplitude envelope. The envelopes are 4-stage ADSR, but on the front panel, to keep it simple, we're just giving you the 2 stages that you use the most. So for the filter, it's attack and decay. For the amplitude, it's attack and release. If you want to access all 4 of the parameters for each envelope, you can do it with MIDI CC or with the included computer editor that we need for this, that comes with the synth. There's an LFO with 7 shapes: sine wave, triangle wave, sawtooth down, sawtooth up, square wave, random, which means if I'm playing 3 or 4 notes, it will just play them in a random order. I jumped to the arpeggiator. This is just a random wave shape. And then, totally lost my train of thought. And then sample and hold. Okay, sorry. Okay, below that we have 5 performance buttons. These are meant for instant musical articulation. So whether the arpeggiator is playing, whether the sequencer is playing, or whether you're playing live, press the vibrato button to get pitch modulation, press the wah button to get filter modulation, press the trem button to get amplitude modulation. And these run at the rate of the LFO. So whatever you set the speed of the LFO, that will be the rate of the vibrato, the rate of the filter modulation, etc. On the left, we have dive and scoop. These are instant pitch effects. And we were very much inspired by the 70s Japanese synths like the Yamaha CS80, the Roland SH5 and SH2. In fact, Roland called it auto bend. But if you do dive, the pitch will dive down to the note. Scoop, it will scoop up to the note. So if you're playing a sequence, playing the arpeggiator, or playing live, and you have a repetitive pattern going and you just want to add a little scoop to one note or a little dive to one note, this is a way to just bring more musical life to the sound. And that's, analog synths are all about, life, just a living, organic, beautiful sound. So this is a way to add more expression to that. There are 100 presets. Each preset has a sequence that's stored with it. The sequence is 16 steps, and you can record it either step by step, like a classic TB303, or you can record it in real time. We have a metronome that you can turn on. You hold down record, press play, you hear a click, and then you can actually play your notes in real time. Okay, so obviously we record the notes, but we do something else that's a little bit deeper. We let you record 20 synth parameters for every step. So you can completely transform the sound from one step to the next. So you can start off with one preset, and by even step number 2, it can sound like a completely different. And in fact, Enrico did a great proof of concept. He created a drum pattern where he starts off with a kick drum sound, and then he has the sound morph into a snare drum, then into like an analog tom, into a cowbell, and then back to a kick drum again. Just using the parameter recording. And he's going to change it more. Cool. So this is a 2-oscillator monophonic analog synth, but with the parameter recording, he's able to completely transform the sound from, and it's analog, so there's no pops or clicks or stair-stepping or zippering. It's the same thing as if you're on a modular synthesizer and just turning the knobs in real time. So that allows us to do these smooth parameter changes like this.
So it means controlling every phase and every single moment of a sound, of a single tone. That's the
right.
secret of that unique box. So you call it Uno.
Yes, Uno, yes.
Because it unites everything you have to control to create a sound. That's the thing.
Well, we called it Uno because it's in Italian, it's one, and it's the first analog synth from us. But Uno, like unite, that could work too.
Sophisticated headline. Yeah?
Maybe you've just given us a new marketing.
No.
I'll have to talk to the marketing people about that.
Thank you very much, but yes. I'm very happy with the music store.
Okay,
so.
good. Okay, we also have an arpeggiator. The arpeggiator has 10 different modes. Let me go back to the beginning here. Okay, so the usual up, just plays notes going up, down, let me come in from this side, up and down where we repeat the top and bottom note, down, up, repeating the top and bottom note, random, this is if I play a 3-note chord, it will just pick, notes at random in that chord and play them in a random order. As played, so if I play the 3rd, then the root, then the 5th, it will always play them in that specific order. Then these last 2 modes, it plays 2 notes for every step of the arpeggiator. So when it goes up the arpeggiator, play 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes, and then the same thing going down, 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes. The arpeggiator has a 4-octave range, so at its default setting, it's just playing in the octave you play it, but you can actually extend it 2 octaves, 3 octaves for the usual arpeggiator kind of thing. So the arpeggiator and the sequencer and the LFO can all sync to MIDI clock. So you can use the internal clock in it, or if you set it to, if you sync it to external MIDI with your DAW with an external drum machine plugged in, you're instantly in sync.
What was the main idea behind the concept and this invention of the Uno? Because when someone is creating stuff like this, then he's thinking about something's missing in the world. We need maybe this screw to continue. You know what I want to say?
Yes.
What I want to say. So
why did we do it?
Yeah, this is the reason.
Right. Well, IK has been gradually getting into the synth world. Last year we released a virtual instrument called Syntronic that was a collection of 22 virtual synthesizers based on 44 hardware synths. And that was very well received, and in fact we just released an update called Syntronic Deluxe that adds more synths to it. Now IK, meanwhile, has been very active in the mobile space with our mobile interfaces, of course with the iRig guitar interface, these very cool micro monitors that look like stormtroopers, because today is International Star Wars Day, so we had to have monitors that look like, all right, anyway. So we thought, wouldn't it be great to have a inexpensive synthesizer? This is 199 euros, exclusive of VAT.
Very affordable.
Yes, that could sound like not only classic analog synths, but also, you know, super modern, aggressive EDM stuff as well. And we would make it portable to go with our company ethos, to go along with our portable products. It will run on batteries. It will run on 4 AA batteries for about 10 hours, which is pretty good. So you can play an entire day at the festival with just 4 batteries. And it fits in a backpack. It weighs 400 grams, so it's really light.
So it's made for a mobile world, right? So everything you're doing is handy, is very smart. So who's the client, the customer for such a product? What would you say? A beginner or much more than this?
Who is not the customer for it?
Yeah.
Actually, this is the idea. We really wanted to make...
Now you found the gap, that's it.
That's right.
Everyone can use it who's making music.
Yes.
Even a guitar player, even a producer would have so much fun with that.
Even a guitar player could use it. No, we wanted to make something that the quality was high enough that if you're a, you know, virtuoso progressive rock synthesist, you could use this, you know, to do leads and anything else you like. But if you're a kid that just wants to do electronic music on the train, it's good for that as well. So we've made the interface simple enough that anyone can figure it out and just turn the knobs and press the buttons. You're not going to hurt anything. But if you have a deep understanding of synthesis, you'll see some very familiar controls, you know, our envelope, filter modes, resonance, all that stuff.
Perfect.
The usual, yes.
So our viewers should check this out. And the last question I have to ask is the Uno already available on the market?
It will be available in July, just in time for my birthday.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Thank you very much, Eric, for your explanations.
You're welcome.
So we have to check this out, and if you want to come to Cologne and check this or order it and check the whole world of the new Uno synth out.
In fact, sit on the steps of that beautiful cathedral you have in Cologne by the train station and make music with the Uno synth. That would be cool. And now Enrico's going to make some sounds for you.
Oh yeah, please, for the outro.